You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days of Our Lives fans, Belinda from Soap Dirt here, and I want to discuss the big confrontation this week between Leo Stark and his wicked, wicked mama, Diana Colville. We all know she is a lying liar who lies, but did she lie about the paternity test also? Is there a twist ahead for Lady Whistleblower? Let's dive in, but first, please click subscribe to follow us and get all your latest NBC Peacock soap updates. All right, so if you don't remember, way back in the day, late 80s, when Jeannie Francis was in the role, John Black had been with Diana Colville, but that was also back when he was thought to be Roman Brady. Of course, standard soap stuff, right? Anyway, at the time that Diana left town, she was pregnant, and then so many years later, we meet her son, the adorable Leo Stark. In 2019, Diana came back, that time played by the uber talented Judith Chapman. Just a side note, Judith Chapman and Greg Rikaart, who plays Leo Stark, also play mother and son over on Young and the Restless. So they have this amazing kind of snarky family chemistry, and they have had for many years on the other soap. And of course, it transferred very nicely over on Days. When Diana first came back to Salem, she said John Black was Leo's dad, but of course, she was also hoping to steal John from Marlena Evans. And it was Marlena's return from the supposed dead on Days way back in the 80s that led in part to John and Diana's split and her leaving town supposedly pregnant. How many times has Marlena come back from the dead? I think we need to do a count of who's been resurrected the most in Days. So fast forward 5 years ago, and both Leo and John were very pleased at the idea that they are father and son. And Leo especially was happy because the man who raised him was awful, as is his murderous mama, Diana. Back in 2019, Diana wanted another shot at John, and so she poisoned Marlena, as one does, right? You know, Diana was arrested for attempted murder. That's why she is in Statesville prison. But back in 2019, there was a DNA test done, and it confirmed that John Black was indeed Leo's dad. But then, after Diana was arrested for attempted murder, she told Leo she tampered with the test. She called him an idiot for believing a man like John could be his father, implying that John's great, Leo's a loser. That upset John, but it really devastated Leo Stark. And the thing is, what I thought was strange back at the time, and I know some of you guys have mentioned it on soap social media, they took her at her word that she rigged the paternity test, and they never did a repeat test at an independent lab far away from her influence to ascertain what was the truth. Which time was she lying, you know? So this week on Days of Our Lives, we have Diana Colville back for one episode. Judith Chapman is already getting rave reviews for those intense scenes with Greg Rikaart we're going to see this week. Some people behind the scenes at Days have seen them already and told her how great they were. Judith's already saying if they're as good as she's heard, she is going to submit them to the Daytime Emmys. So I am quite excited to see these scenes. I love Judith Chapman on Y&R, and I enjoyed her on Days as well a few years back. She is so good at playing devilish, but on Young and the Restless, her character isn't intentionally cruel and murdery like her Days counterpart, Diana. Anyway, bottom line, Leo is ready to confront his mean mama, and he heads to Statesville this week. He practiced a speech. He is given a lot of time and energy to think about what he wants to say to her, but I cannot imagine that Diana is going to sit there and let him get it all out, let him say what he wants. She doesn't want to hear it. I'm guessing she's going to cut Leo off before he works through everything that he had written out. And remember, Leo is in therapy with Marlena to work on his issues of perceived unlovability, and Diana finding out he is in therapy with Marlena, the woman she's she's insanely jealous of is going to rub Diana the wrong way. She still resents that Marlena survived the poisoning and remains happily married to John Black. Remember, by the way, John's out of town. He was supposed to go to Greece to pay his respect to Constantine's daughter at her grave, the woman he still believes he murdered under orders from Victor Kiriakis. So that whole thing, that feels suspect to me, very suspicious, because John's clearly got some weird things still going on in his head, despite the deprogramming Marlena did. But he should be back soon. And meanwhile, as a result of his therapy sessions, Leo decided he needed to go have it out with Diana. But I just wonder if she's going to drop another bombshell on him. Will she tell him she lied about lying and that John really is his father? Or maybe Diana Colville will say she tampered with the test results to ensure John was a match, but she doesn't know for certain whether John was the one that got her pregnant or if it was the other guy. Diana herself might not know the truth if she just tampered with the results and didn't actually look at the test, you know? She just may not know. So I am still really hoping that John is Leo's father. That's what I'm really hoping. I think it would be great, since Leo is sticking around, for him to have more family, especially since he lost his lover Dmitry von Leuschner and his bestie Gwen Rizchek. If indeed John is Leo's dad for reals, Leo wouldn't just get a father, but also a kind and loving stepmom in Marlena. Should get the family discount on the therapy, right? And he'd have 3 siblings, Belle Black, Brady Black, and other brother Paul Narita. And that would integrate Leo more fully into the character canvas of Salem if they're going to keep him around. So we'll just have to wait and see what Diana says when Leo comes to see her in prison. I'm sure she's going to give her son a very hard time. She's not going to make things easy on him. She never does. And, he treks out to Statesville prison because he's trying to understand why she raised him the way she did, why he turned out to be a person that sometimes struggles to love himself, and he thinks for people to not love him, despite all of his glittery self-confidence and good looks. This should be good. If nothing else, Leo may come out of this with some closure and he can move on from there. We know his new love interest debuts soon, a guy named Javi, played by Al Calderon. But just maybe Leo will get more than he bargained for when he sets up this prison visit. Let me know what you think. Would you like it to come out that John and Leo are really father and son? Definitely comment, subscribe if you're not following us, and thank you so much if you are. And be sure to check back all week long for Days of Our Lives updates 7 days a week with me, Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.